Hello and welcome to my unboxing and first look at my second Mars pattern Warlord Titan. One of these models will set you back £975, which is about $1,300. It's a huge amount of money. There are those people that have a Warlord Titan, and then there are those people that have two Warlord Titans. And those are the people that you've got to be very, very wary of, because they're pretty much advertising that they are crazy. They love the hobby so much that they're willing to sink not just over £1,000 on one model, but over £1,000 on two models. I was mulling through my video and I discovered I purchased my first Warlord Titan over 5 years ago in November 2015, and that was a few months after it had been released. I think it was released July time or so that year. So I didn't get it on release. I did manage to get the Nemesis Titan on release 2 years ago. So that was kind of my motivation to go for a second one, in that it had been 5 years and it has also been over 2 years since I got my last Titan. And if you know anything about me and the channel, I absolutely love Titans and Walkers. They are my favourite faction in all of 40k and Horus Heresy. So without further ado, let's unbox this. It's too big to put on my table or my desk, so I'm going to unbox it right here. When you purchase one of these Warlord Titans, you're going to get two Titan boxes. The package weighs 9.5 kilograms and is the size of a toddler. So nestled away in one of these Warlord Titan boxes is this very special envelope called "Please Do Not Bend." And in here is where you get when it was checked by the British Motorcycle Club, apparently, on the 30th of November. That's when it was checked, or that was when it was made. I'm currently recording this video the beginning of December. You get your construction guide, which is absolutely lovely. It's one of the main reasons why you should go for a Warlord Titan or a Nemesis Titan, because of that instruction guide. The Reaver and the Warhound Titans do not come with one of these beautiful instruction guides, and they're a bit of a pain to put together. But the Warlord Titan is just one of those miniatures that I'd happily build again. I know I say it a lot on the channel. I'm all about new experiences and new models to get new experiences of building something that I haven't built before, but I'm willing to bend that a little bit for the Warlord Titan. And this is my certificate. So it is number 1090. I can't remember for the life of me what number my other one is, but that's where it holds up. Let's see what you get in these big boxes then. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go through one box at a time. So let's move this box out the way. Let's unbox one of these. And you're met with a box full of bags and some bubble wrap. We'll go through each bag individually to make sure we've got all the pieces. Got a load of these plates that are in bubble wrap, so we'll be very, very careful with these, but there's an absolute ton of them. I've forgotten just how big this model actually is. And that's about it. So we'll be going through this box first of all packing the pieces back as we go. So we'll look at the pieces in the bubble wrap. I'm not sure when I will be building this model. Hopefully over Christmas, but you never know. So what I'll do is we'll be having a little look at them, and then they'll go back in the box. So this is one of the carapace pieces. Very, very slippery, slimy. Gonna be careful with that, but yeah, what you're gonna have to do is give that a good soak. If you've got a big, like a baby bath would help, or even just in the bath, as long as you separate the plug hole and make sure that won't suck any of your smaller parts down. But these big parts are fine to put in there with some fairy liquid or washing up liquid. Make sure it's like a degreasing one. So they're the carapace pieces. This is the hips, the hip support, where you're going to have a lot of the carapace on there. Not too bad, not that slimy, but there are a few places where it is a bit slippy. But yeah, look at these massive gates. I mean, yeah, let's face it, guys, this thing is 9.5 kilograms. It's a heavy model. What have we got here? Another package. So this is the front neck. Just goes like so, and then you can put your magnets in. They don't leave any cutouts for magnets, unlike the Nemesis Titan. You're going to have to drill a few areas to put the magnets in. But another lovely piece. Fair bit of detail on there. Yeah, fantastic. I love all the rivets. That was a bit of a pain, me painting every single rivet on this model. What have we got in this little package? We have one of the carapace pieces, one of the side armor panels. You can see just how thick that armor really is. I mean, thicker than a Space Marine's leg, I think. But yeah, you've got some lovely heat exhaust vents and some cabling and fibre bundles, a couple of compartment hatches, some reinforced armour panelling. No doubt we're going to have another second one of those pieces. But this is one of the feet. This is one of the feet, massive things. Loads of detail, loads of rivets again in there, and the toes go in each of these sockets. 4 toes on each foot. So yeah, fair amount of detail on this one. Load of rivets. Then you've got the top. I can already tell that this is the top carapace piece, where the void shield banks go and the energy converters go. Yeah, this is quite slimy. It's nice though, looks lovely. Some freckles of the releasing agent. That's going to need a really good scrub. Yeah, lovely piece. Big, heavy. Well, it's not that heavy. It's a big piece. It's not that heavy. I like how they've shaved, some weight by having those cutouts. I think we're now onto some armour panelling. We've got 2 armour pieces here. I think they are, yep, they look to be 2 different ones, which is fantastic, always a good sign. So yeah, these are the top carapace armour plating pieces. Lovely, they look in very good shape, good detail. Lots of rivets again. So they're part of the carapace armour plating. You should see the box now, I barely can fit anything in it. You've got the mid sections of the armour plating for the carapace. Again, a fair amount of detail, some detail on the rear in terms of the rivets. Yeah, lovely big armour plates. They're a canvas for painting if you're so inclined to paint works of art on there. I've seen fantastic works of art that other hobbyists have put on these big armour plate. Got some more carapace armour plates in the form of the other the ends of them. So both of those, it's great that they're opposite as well, which is always a good sign. And more rivets, more cutouts. This small piece, which is the rear door to the Titan. So yeah, you've even got like a open close button. I like the rivets, I like how thick those doors are. Loads of detail there, loads of cabling and vents. Probably there are some hidden point defense weapons as well. I think that's the scanner to gain entry, some kind of biometric scanner possibly. And we've got another foot. I've seen one of those before. It can be left or right. They're going to be exactly the same, or they should be exactly the same. A couple more bubble wrap pieces to go. You've got the other carapace side panel. I can remember from memory, I think that the other one was the opposite side, which is, yeah, again, great sign. And the final bubble wrap piece in this kit is going to be the top neck kind of armour, where the carapace joins the head. So yeah, another nice piece. Okay, bags. Let's get on to this bag first of all. So what we'll do is we'll be very, very brave, and we'll tip all the parts onto this sofa, and hopefully they don't get lost. But yeah, you've got everything from these rear compartments to the top of the carapace of the Titan. You've got one armour piece here, which is a little bit odd. I'm hoping that I'll find another one of these somewhere, because it's not in this bag. That would be a bit upsetting if they only provided me with one, because I know for a fact that it's got two. And then you've got these, which are the toe armour plates. I like to paint them individually, and then I don't like to glue them in. I like to leave them loose. There's enough tightness in them so that you don't have to glue them in, but some people do. You've got some of the mounts for the point defense weapons, such as the bolt cannons, smaller bolt cannons, and the las cannons. Speaking of which, here are the twin link las cannons. It's got two twin link las cannons, so with the new rules, you're getting 2 shots each. So yeah, you've got full strength 9 weapons already before you even start. But yeah, lots of detail on these, if you can see that, with the power banks as well. You've got some thick cabling which connects the carapace to the base of the carapace, to the hip area. You've got void shields, 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 void shields, but I think in the rules it's a little bit different. These are your standard void shields that you also get exactly the same void shields as on the Nemesis Titan. Is exactly the same. But these are different to the ones that you get on the Reaver and on the Warhound. Another end to the carapace and some railings. Some armoured railings. They're a bit more substantial than the ones on the Reaver, on the Nemesis. They're less prone to bending, warping. So that's that bag. We've got this bag right here, which looks like it's got armour plating in, and armour plating supports. So these will be supports for the side armour along the carapace, Again, really nice pieces with a load of rivets, banded reinforced armour bands, I'd like to call them. You've then got all of the 2 leg armours. Hopefully we've got the one left and one right, which we have. Again, lovely pieces, lots of detail. Then the sort of Shin Armor. Again, hoping we've got opposites. Yeah, that's opposites, and that is also opposites. So yeah, you've got 4 of those that will go around the shin. Then we've got another bag here, which we'll open. So you've got these 2 very important pieces. I know what you're thinking right now. I could put this on my painting handle, have a jolly good time. These are ribbed as well, and they're already lubed. But no, these are for the hips. You've got the hip supports that go around the tops of the hips and attached with pistons, of which we've got many different sizes and thicknesses of pistons. You've got these tops to the bolt cannons and the twin las cannons. Speaking of which, here is a bolt cannon. Well, here's 2 bolt cannons. You get 2 bolt cannons that are the front 2 weapons. Here are their mountings, and you get the gyroscopes, the gyro stabilizers for the hips. Important to position these level with the ground, and you get these pieces here which will slot the weapons in when they're weapons for the arms, essentially. And that's it for that bag. And then this final bag right here, you've got a number of armour plates, armour pieces. You do have the missing armour piece, which I thought it was missing, but I found it. And this is the thing, keep a track of all of your pieces. Whenever you buy any of these models, they consist of hundreds of pieces, literally hundreds of pieces. So what I would suggest you do is, as much of a pain as it is I would go through each piece and tick them off on the list, the component list, and make sure you don't have any that are missing, because it's an expensive model and it's definitely worth going through all of the parts. Make sure you've got all of them. These are the very big, very thick gyro stabilizers, I like to call them. They keep the Titan upright. So you've got the gyroscopic sensors, but you've also got these as well. Crazy pieces, lots of detail. They look like good sculpts. Can't see any slippage. You've got the weapon arm mounts as well. I think these are the shoulders specifically. Load of detail again. Can't see any issues with those. The gates are in a good position too. You'll never see those parts. You've got the front armour, I think the neck or the chest area. Then you've got these 2 pieces, which are part of the armour. You've got these panelling pieces, which are again for the carapace. So you've got these 2 kind of wider pieces, and 2 of these thinner pieces. You've got these 2 top carapace weapon mounts, which will go on the shoulder framework, and that's where you can put your Reaver laser blasters or Apocalypse missile launchers. Unfortunately, we don't have the Gatling blasters or plasma blast guns or dual Vulcan mega bolters yet. Hopefully they're down in the pipeline. And that's just one of the boxes, and there's 2 boxes. We will be going through the second box right now. Okay, here is the second box. Although it's very heavy, it doesn't contain as numerous parts. It's just the thicker parts, like the legs and the carapace framework. So let's unbox this one, and straight away you've got some more bubble wrap. You've got a number of toes right there. You've got a big bag of heavy stuff like the legs and more of the weapon mounts and the big exhausts. You've also got these more armor plates and more parts of the carapace and the intake vents, and then you've got again another box full of bubble wrap and all of the other pieces. So let's go through this one. So in exactly the same manner as before, we'll go through all of these pieces that are in the bubble wrap. So straight away you've got the largest front armor piece for the legs, one of the legs. Lots of detail on that. You can see how shiny it is, but when I move my finger over, it gets some of the releasing agent off. This is the sister piece. They're both exactly the same. Doesn't matter which side you put them on, left or right, they're going to be exactly the same. But yeah, I like all the rivets on the inside of it as well. They didn't have to do that, but they did. They certainly didn't do that in the... I don't think they did it in the Revo, the Warhound. Got this big piece. Now this is one of the most important pieces of the set, and this is your hips. This is where those big rounded ribbed plugs will slot onto, and it's a very heavy central piece. It's worth using at spirit level to get this right. I magnetised mine. I put a massive thick old magnet in there, very deep inside, and you know, that just gives it a bit more stability. It's got these big rivets around the rim, and it's got this rear piece which has lots of detail on the rear, with these venting and another hatch with some more pipe work and cabling detailing, which is actually mirrored on each side. It's exactly the same, but obviously the hatch is offset. So that looks like a really nice piece. I think that's probably better than the original piece I got. Hardly any work to be done on that. Fantastic. I remember my original piece was a bit of a pain. What do we have in here? We've got one of the shoulders. So this is where it will connect to the carapace, and then the carapace metal frame will sit on top of this, and then that's where you get your missile launchers and things. But under here, that's where one of your big main weapons will go in. You know, volcano cannon, plasma annihilator, quake cannon, maybe even a Gatling blaster, if they ever release the rules for it. You've got, I think, a leg. So yes, this is one of the legs for the Titan, or the thigh at least. This is where the plugs will go in, those big rib things. This looks like a very decent no.2. There's a bit of slippage there, but you're not going to see that because that's where the armour panelling will go. Nothing on the top. Lots of detail in there. Yeah, I'm very impressed with that. Lovely. This right here will be both of the carapace frameworks, and they're all reinforced with the metal banding and the ribbons as well. Big rivets, huge skeletal framework of the carapace. You get two of them, and they do go left or right. There are these sections, these mounting points are all unique. 3 different unique points, because the 3 different armour pieces will only go one way, but you get 2 of those. And then this, I think, is just another one of the thighs. This one looks a little bit... No, that's not too bad. Doesn't look as good as the other one. But, yeah. Still, that's one of the legs. You got this piece right here, which is another one of the shoulder mounts for the weapons. Exactly the same as the other one in every way. And then this piece right here is, there's 2 of them. and these are the Void Shield generator arches with all the venting on the side. They are fantastic. I love these kit pieces. They're hollowed out, save a bit of weight. My original ones were hollowed out. These actually feel a little bit lighter than the originals though. 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got your 8 Void Shields. You're all sorted. Again, this looks nicer than my original one from 5 years ago. So, yep, you get 2 of them. And then you're left with 3 bags. Let's have a look at the feet first of all. I'll move them out of this to one side. And you've got all the toes. 1, 2, 3, 4, should be 8, 5, 6, 7, 8 toes. They're all exactly the same, doesn't matter which where you put them, front, left, right, rear. They're all exactly the same, unlike the Nemesis where they're all a little bit different, and the Reaver as well. The Warhound, they have different length of toes, but the good thing about this kit is all of the toes are the same. You can't go wrong at all. The bad thing about this kit is you don't get any toes that are slightly bent. I'm guessing that they have to be flat all the time, but you can position them, you know, up or down. But they're all the same, those 8, and you also of course get 8 of these, I want to say ankle guards, ankle armour with the pistons already built in. Fantastic. So yeah, you don't have to faff about with changing pistol heights and like you do with the Nemesis. This is a full armour piece and the dual pistons, and all of these 8 pieces are again exactly the same. So a nice heavy bag of 16 pieces there. Let's look at this big bag. Whereabouts you've got this is the top armour for the head. That'll just protect the top of it. You've got these 2 intake vent systems that will provide the necessary airflow for the Void Shield generator arcs. These are a bit tricky to get level with the top carapace, so be wary if you're going to cut these areas and file them down. I mean, that whole arc area is quite tricky. And then this is the rear of the carapace. Again, these bits are a bit tricky to get level with the rear of carapace. You may well need to, you know, be careful with your glue, get some green stuff. I mean, yeah, you're going to need different glues for this kit. You're going to need different green stuffs. They are actually different pieces. This one's got 2 larger pipeworks here, and this one has a dual pipework and then a thick one. But this area is pretty much the same. So quite a small bag, with not many parts. And then we're finally onto the last bag here. What a journey this has been. So in here we get the rear massive exhaust vents for the Warlord Titan and the Void Shield arcs, probably a mixture of both. But yeah, huge pieces. I can see already that that's great. We've got one for the left and one for the right. I think when I originally bought my first one, I had 2 of the same, which yeah, really did suck. I can't tell you how much that would suck if you got 2 of the same pieces, but they are 2 different pieces, so this has been checked thoroughly. So that's great news. You also get a couple of the shins, so these go below the thighs, and this ball joint area will slot into the feet that we saw. They're both identical. They're very slimy at the moment. This is the groin armor area, and it will go like that. It's a layered plate, fair amount of detail. It's pretty nice. These are the amazing knee joints. I think they're fantastic. I prefer them over to the Nemesis, but they just essentially, this would slot onto there, and then you can position the knee and the thigh whichever way you want. I prefer this makeup to the Nemesis, but I prefer the hips of the Nemesis anyway. And there's a fair amount of detail on these. Lots of reinforced metal banding and supports and huge rivets. And then finally you've got the last of the weapon mounting options for the 2 main weapons. These are the right up there with in the shoulders, and then you've got a smaller coupling and then a smaller one, and then the weapon itself. But yeah, here they are. Now notice that I haven't shown you any weapons. I do have unboxings and reviews of all of the other big weapons. I did just purchase the body because that's all I need. I've got another head and I've got plenty of other weapons and other carapace weapons. But yeah, if you just type in a weapon that you're interested in or a head that you're interested in, and then Super Saiyan at the end of it, YouTube will work its magic and be able to display other Titan videos for you. And I do have a Titan playlist on this channel if you're interested to see more of them, or even this one, or even my other Warlord Titan that is built, completed, fully painted. Did that about 4 years ago or so. Anyway, what do you guys think of all the pieces of this model? It's the largest, most expensive model that Forge World create. I really hope they bring out an Imperator for $2,500. I can't see it being all resin. I think it can be resin and plastic, but I'm really hopeful that they will bring out one of those in the next couple of years. Typically it has been about 3 to 6 years per release of a Titan. There was 3 years between the Warlord and the Nemesis. We're now up to 2 years between the Nemesis and the potential new one. But yeah, even if we have to wait a couple of years, that would be great. Personally, I'd like to see like a renewal, a refresh of the Reaver and the Warhound. Just a refresh of the mould and the pieces and the instructions for the Reaver, and the same for the Warhound. But also I'd like to see them introduce different Forge World versions of those Titans. Another Lucius pattern Warhound, and possibly, if they can, a Lucius pattern or Riser pattern or Metallica pattern Reaver Titan, before we get anything in the realms of an Imperator or Emperor class Titan. What do you guys think? Please do put your thoughts and opinions down below. It'd be great to hear from you. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.